Welcome back to Dolor Factor Live. We're going to continue with some of the quiz questions because we're realizing that it's opening some avenues for further discussion. But what we want to do as well is open the phone lines. So if you'd like to give us a call, this is the time to do so. We'll mix your calls with taking some of the quiz questions and also addressing some of the questions that you've already sent in to us. Okay, so let me go to some of the questions here. All right. One of the statements, and I'll go to a quiz question in a second. Well, sex is a very complex type of topic that anyone could engage in. In sexual intercourse, there are consequences. One, sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, unwanted pregnancies, infidelity, etc. Rose, any comment on that?
Yes, I agree with the person who sent you this statement here, Delia, because it can be complex to when you are not ready for it. In other words, if you are a mature adult making a decision to have sex, it will not be as complicated because you will work on it. You will have found a partner who is willing, together with you, to get engaged in the sex. It will not be forced upon you. Precisely. It's a decision that the two of you will make. So there will be communication about the sex, you see. It will not be a quickie behind the banana tree, or look, the car coming and the light is on me, let's go fast. It will not be that. It will be, okay, we have decided, we're adults, we have made that decision, so let's talk about sex, you know, and communicate about sex. What turns you on? What turns me on?
Okay, well, let me just go to the phone, and then Junior, Jamie can respond as well. So thank you so much for calling Dolor Factor Live. Hello.
Yes, hello, good night. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Fine, thank you also.
Good.
What I would like to suggest is that sex is for married people, not for teenagers and things. You know, it's for married people. In the Bible, it's for married people.
Yes, that's quite true. That is in the Bible.
This is why I say it will be two mature adults who have decided that they want to have sex. And if two adults decide to have sex, the ideal would be in a married setting.
All right, let Jamie say so you wanted to respond to.
And I'm glad Rose mentioned communication. Many people are not aware of what their partners desires. You will know how kinky they are, what their sex drive are. Your partner's sex drive may be much higher than yours. But how can you keep up with your partner? How can you make it more creative? People are married for over 30, 40 years and they still go at it. But how do they last so long? Do they get bored? What about instead of having sex all the time, it's all about your relationship. If you focus on your relationship, you have developed that aesthetical bond. You go out, you have make time for your partner. You get me? You know, so when you focus on all these things, sex becomes a minor. It's more or less saying you go to the spa and they give you a complimentary bottle of wine. It's more enriching.
Well, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, welcome to Dolor Factor Live.
Hello.
Hello.
I would just like to say that sex has gone to a different level now, and we look at sex between teenagers, and it just goes to something that is just about sex and nothing more than that. And we look at sex between adults, and it is the same thing. There is nothing that, you know, people coming together as soulmates or anything like that. It's just sex. And I'm very happy that you guys have that program, that show. And it seems that now men look at sex as, you know, trying to hurt the females, you know, trying to make them moan and, you know, trying to make them scream and all of that. So I'd like to hear what you'd have to say on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, it brings back, thanks for that, young man. It brings back the same thing I mentioned earlier, that you have to decide, you know, because sex, people use sex for many things, you know, Delia. Punishment, and like he said, it's like a forced thing. It's like, it is not an enjoyment thing coming together in love. It is like, I give it to you. You know, you did that to me. So it's like a punishment. Yeah. So how can you enjoy sex if it's punishment? So that's one we mentioned earlier about the things. You know, it's like a job. Pay me and I'll do it and you give me that. So sex is divorced from love. Is divorce from caring? Is divorce from sharing?
Let me tell you something. No, let me tell you something though.
Yes.
Let me tell you, you know who's to blame for that? Us as adults, right? And I say us as adults because I'm not pinpointing anyone in particular, but as adults, we do things knowing there are children in the background. Sometimes when some parents bring home one man this week, another man next month, or you know, or a man will bring one girlfriend
There's
this
no
week, another
stability.
girlfriend, and the children see this, and it's like saying, you know, I'm the adult, you don't do what I do, but of course they're going to do it because you keep on doing it. So in a way, we as adults, we do that, and also sometimes children understand that our parents or the people that they know around them are having adult relationships. And we ourselves, we actually agree to have a sexual relationship with somebody as an adult relationship. Sometimes we know that that person has their own partner, or we may even have our own partner, and we say, we're just going to have a sexual relationship, and they call it an adult relationship.
Oh, that's what they call it.
That's what they
Julia.
call it, yes. Well, that's one of the things they call it. Jamie?
Make a reference to the term jabal.
Yes.
Precisely, and the thing is,
But that's
when you
more than
have
that.
somebody on the
No,
No,
outside,
Jabal is
No,
more
that-
than the sex. No, it's more than that.
well, some people just have it as a sexual relationship
No, it's
on
just
the
friends.
outside.
It's like you and I can
Friends
just
with
agree.
benefits.
We can just agree. Yeah, friends with benefits.
Yes,
Those are the kind of
benefits,
terms
yeah.
that we just see each other just for that. Maybe I have a partner who's not fulfilling my sexual needs, and I'm
Yes.
thinking you might do what I want you to do.
And
So
with-
let's
with
just
regards
have
to
that.
that
You
aspect,
know.
I'm glad you touched on that topic, Delia. When you sleep with someone else, if your partner is very vigilant, they will actually notice your sexual patterns. You may be coming, taking, let's say, 10 minutes to come, and then soon after, it takes you 20 minutes to come. What's wrong? You seem to be more passionate with you. What's going on? Maybe someone else is fueling your fire.
Well, that's one of the things they think of, but sometimes it works like that, sometimes it doesn't, because we're all, even with our partners, we can behave, our bodies can behave differently depending on the state of health. But let's go back to the calls. Thank you for calling Dolor Factor Live.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
What I would like to ask that, is it a good idea that you have sex every day with your partner? Every single day?
Let's ask the counsellor
Is
that.
it a good thing that you have
Well,
sex
sex every
every
day.
day? Or if you can have, it's not, I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but if you are in the mood and both of you agree, because you see, sex is not something you having with somebody, you know. Sex is something that both of you are having together. And this is where we make the mistake. I am having sex with him, or he's having with me. No. We are having sex together. So if your partner does not want to have sex every day, you all should have this relationship that is so intimate and beautiful for you all to decide you're doing it together. So if it's every day that both of you decide, that's fine.
Okay, let's go back to the phone line. Thank you for holding. You're on the air.
Good evening to all three of you.
Good evening.
Mrs. Overton,
Yes.
I rather admire and appreciate your opinions. I'm a grown man, as you can probably gather from my voice.
Yes.
And I sometimes wonder how long it takes certain men to find out that there is a clitoral and a vaginal orgasm.
Yes.
I'm sure you are aware.
Yeah.
But I wonder whether my young male friend is.
Well, I was lucky enough to be trained in that way that I know those things. But you know, caller, there are a lot of people who do not know those things.
I
And
was
that is-
surprised to find out how many people, quote-unquote, grown-up people,
They
who
don't
don't
know.
know anything
They don't.
about that.
And you cannot blame them because they were not educated that way. And this is why now, I think we have reached a stage in our lives now where people are more knowledgeable. People read more. People go to workshops. And there's the internet. There is social media and so on. So I think now it is better when it comes to sex and
We are more
knowing their
equipped.
bodies, because people have more knowledge now. But when we were younger growing up, we didn't know those things. I mean, my mother never even told me about period, much less. But in my adult years and in my professional life, I attended many training workshops, and I know those things, so I can teach
Let me
it
just ask the
now.
caller, would you like to respond to anything that Rose has said since you're still with us?
I still am. And like I said, I'm listening very, very, very much, and with a lot of interest,
Yes.
particularly to her and to the young man as well. I think he knows quite a bit, but I think he still has quite a lot to learn.
Yes.
For sure,
Well,
you
that's-
always do. You never done with
But
it.
I'm
Yes.
still learning myself, so.
All right then.
Thank you
Very
very
good
much.
Thank you,
program.
caller.
Thank
And
you.
Miss Dolor,
Yes,
thank you very much.
you're more than welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, I mean, I think that it's really refreshing, as we said earlier, that
Yes.
Jamie is here because, and yes, you will learn. You know, you will learn more as you go along, and I'm sure you know, and there's a lot of young people out there who know when there's good in terms of a good feeling, whether it's a sexual feeling or not. You know, and you can know that when you're having sex with somebody, what type of sex it is, and is it going to be a nice or a good sex? Because if you have rapport with somebody,
Precisely.
you know, people say, is it an art? Is it a talent? You know, people got macho man. You know, I'm good at sex. You know, who determines? Who determines that you are good at sex? It's the person that you're making love to who will
Because it's something
determine
we
that.
continue to learn, dear.
Yes, yes.
I mean, sex is not something that you do. It's like a job. You
It's a
learn it
continuous
and you do.
experiment.
Your body changes in different ways.
It reacts to different people
It reacts
also.
exactly, and that's why it is so beautiful. And I don't want people to listen to me and say, "Oh, because you're married, you think it's only in married life people having sex." I'm not saying that. No. But it is ideal, Julia, because you continue to learn that person's body, and it gets better and better and better.
That's
Precisely.
the ideal, but unfortunately, we're not living in an
That's
ideal
why
world.
I wish we could be able to stick to a partner where we can learn the body, and then we can be good in sex.
Thank you, Miss Obertine. Now,
Oh, perhaps great.
I'm going to leave you with a question, viewers. The bigger the feet, the bigger the meat. True or false? We'll answer that when we get back.